I'm Mark Saxton,
I'm Joey Cundiff.
and we're sitting here with Danny Wirchansky, and it is time to talk some shit.
A little bit of a rough night. You got the water, I got the Red Bull, so totally throwing things for a
We,
loop.
we went hard last night for fight night.
Did you watch that, Danny?
No, I was working, so I couldn't see it.
Oh, gotcha. John Jones. It was if you bought it for $80, I mean, you must like 2 minutes. That's about all that fight
I
lasted.
think he won in what 2 minutes and 30 seconds, something like that.
Yeah. So, Danny, the question we've all been waiting for. We saw a lot of reels on Instagram you were posting. How'd winter ball go?
Winter Bowl was fun. I mean, got to play with a lot of good guys, a lot of big leaguers, and it was just nice being in the warm weather instead of being in New York where it was cold. So it was definitely nice to play baseball, kind of like in a season where you're never really going to see it in the winter, obviously. So it was definitely a fun time, and still need to learn some Spanish, but it's getting a little better.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, I was seeing on your reels that you were starting a lot. You're starting to pick up some momentum. Can you explain how winter ball goes? Is it a tournament style? Do you just play a select few games, or how does it work?
Yeah, no. So basically, it's kind of just like a regular baseball. It's regular pro baseball, but you don't do like 3 game series. It'll be like you play one game, say we'll go to Ponce, and then another game will go to Santurce, and then another game will be at like Caguas or something, and then we could be home. And you'll have like one off day a week. So like Monday was our set off day, and then we'll play Tuesday to Sunday. And basically, you're just bouncing all over the island.
Dang.
That's cool
Yep.
though. If you love the game of baseball, that's the life right
Yeah.
there.
No, it was definitely cool, especially like I've never like really like been out in Puerto Rico for a really long time. I've been there like for a week when I was like 16, but being out there for like 3 months, 4 months was pretty cool.
Nice.
That's legit, man. That's cool.
How many strikeouts did you have?
I pitched.
Can't even count
uh,
That's what I'm
I
talking
had,
about. Too many.
I know I had more strikeouts than innings pitched. I just don't know exactly the number.
Let's
Let's
go.
go, man. That's what it is. What about before you went to winter ball? How'd your season end?
Our season was a little brutal at the end. I mean, we had a hot streak where we won the last like 12 games of the regular season, and then we uh we actually lost at home in the wild card game, so that was a little devastating.
Oh man,
Yeah, we
that's
lost to a
tough.
tough Ottawa team.
Oof.
Ooh.
Did you guys? I mean, you had the win streak going. Did you guys not watch the Sox? What was the lucky charm?
I don't know, honestly. I mean, we kind of did this thing every time after like a series win. My buddy Al would do like this little like runway thing, but yeah, everyone would always get like, "Oh, we got to win for that. We got to win for that," because the guy has a great personality, great character, and like just made everyone like want to be there. So it was, I don't know, we didn't have like any superstitions or anything, but no,
Just
we just it just all clicked.
I like it. I like it. Now, before that ended, there was some. I know for us it was heartbreaking. I couldn't imagine how it was for you. We were excited. We thought you were coming home.
That's right.
Um, can
Yeah,
can you walk us through kind of what went down?
no, yeah. So uh, I made 3 starts with the Boulders, and it was funny. We actually had a long road trip out to Lake Erie, and I had a pitch on our travel day. So we were on the bus at 5 a.m. from New York all the way to Lake Erie, and I had the worst start ever. I probably had I think three or four runs in like 3 innings, like just completely like terrible outing.
Oof.
And like 2 days later, we're on our way to Windy City. We had a road trip out there, and I'm in the hotel room, and my manager calls me and goes, "Dude, like, who's your roommate? Like, what's going on? We're getting complaints from like the hotel." And like, we were just sitting there watching TV, like doing nothing. So I was like, kind of like, what? And he was like, "Dude, like, we're getting complaints from the hotel." And I was like, "Okay, that's weird." And then he's like, "Hey, like, what's your dad's number? I want to order pizza from him because my dad owned a pizzeria when I was in season." But I was like, "Yeah, like it's weird you're asking for pizza now. Like we're in Windy City, like we're in Chicago." I'm like, "I don't know why you need his number now," but he wanted to let my dad know that the Diamondbacks were buying my contract,
Oh,
And
nice.
so we got a knock at the door, and I was like, "Oh, great. Are we in trouble? Like, what are we doing? We're not even doing anything." My manager and then my two other coaches who were also player coaches. One's Robbie Rowland, and then another one's Tucker Nathans, and then our trainer come to the room, and they just walk in. They're like, "Hey, like you're not in trouble. We were just messing with you. We just want to let you know you're not going to be with us anymore. The Diamondbacks are buying out your contract." So then I had to I had to pack up all my stuff. I had to get a flight. My bus driver was weaving in and out of traffic. Took me to O'Hare, and then I had to fly from O'Hare to Newark. So I flew home, and then I had to go pack up everything at the stadium. Had to pack up everything at my house, and basically get a flight to Arizona the next day. And
Dang.
then yeah, so then I go down there, and they put us up in a hotel and everything, and then we go through physicals. I was super pumped. I was like, let's go. Like, we're going to be able to get our contracts and everything. And then they asked me to do an MRI. And the next day they were like, yeah, we don't like your physical. So we're not going to sign you. So I was like, okay, well, I was like, what's the deal? Like, what is it? And they were just like, oh, you have loose bodies in your elbow. And basically, loose bodies is ossification, like little bone spurs. But that's basically what every baseball player has because the throwing motion's so like it's
Yeah, it's
not
not
normal.
natural. It's not
Right.
natural.
It's not a natural thing. So like that's just a natural thing that happens. It's like bones fraying off and stuff like that. But yeah, no tears, no nothing. So then I get sent home. I go back to playing with the Boulders, and I make a start. I go 6 scoreless. And then the day after that, I go see my doctor who did my Tommy John, who's the Yankees physician, and he's like cranking my arm in 20 different directions. He's like, "Do you feel this? Do you feel that? Does this hurt?" Checking the strength of my arm. He goes, "Dude, like," he's like, "You pitched yesterday?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "It doesn't look like it. Like, it looks like you're just completely normal. Like, usually you'd be like fatigue, sore, whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm fine." Like, I was straight up honest with him. I have no pain, no nothing. But yeah, I got sent home again.
Why does I mean, I don't understand. So if you've got especially someone, like the Yankees, I mean, come on. What better
Right.
reputation could you have?
100%. And he even said if it was the Yankees who were signing me, and he did my physical. He said I would have passed because he
Uh,
looked at the MRI too. He looked at all the imaging. He's like, "You have no tear." He's like, "There's no UCL tear. There's nothing wrong with your elbow." He's like, "It's just loose bodies, and that's really it." He's like, "That's normal."
and why like and now I'm starting to take it personal
Right,
for you, buddy.
right.
Why would any team do that for you before you pack everything up and go, Why wouldn't they
No,
have
yeah,
those
I mean,
tests set up?
yeah, I tried everything with my agent reached out to the Diamondbacks and everything. We're like, "Hey, like at least, hey, can you sign him?" And like, if he blows out, you just release him. They're like, "No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to like take the risk, this and that." And yeah, that was really it.
Dang. Dang.
That angers me for you, man. So what's the next step? What do we do now?
Right now, I mean, I was resting a little bit because I threw for 8 straight months after winter ball, but I'm just getting back into throwing this week, and then I'll probably play in the Atlantic League to start out, and hopefully see if someone will take the chance and buy my contract again and actually sign me. So we'll see what happens there.
Shit,
Yeah,
hey, well,
dude.
shit, we root for you over
Yeah.
here.
Yep, I appreciate it.
So talking about the big leagues, and now, you know, the answer, there's been different answers. What do you think about the pitch clock now?
See, I spoke to a lot of teammates in winter ball about it, and they don't mind it. They said it was definitely weird, and like I had two guys on my team, they're brothers, the Palacios brothers. One's with the Guardians. I hate saying the Guardians, but the Guardians. And
Same,
then
Yeah,
same.
yeah, yeah.
and then the other one just got Rule 5 from the Blue Jays to the Pirates. And they were like the first like time doing it, like it's a little weird, but he's like after like the like month or so, like you're so used to it. I'm not the biggest fan of it being 20 seconds. I think it should be 30 seconds.
Right.
And
Right.
I think it should be unlimited pickoffs. I don't think it should be all right, you get three, but if you don't pick them off on
Right.
the third one, it's a ball. But I don't know. I think it definitely helps speed up the game a little bit, which I know a lot of players do like. I mean, for myself as like a starting pitcher, the days you're not playing and the games drag on, you don't want to be there. So it's like I'm a-okay with the game speeding up a bit, but yeah, no, I think they should definitely make it a little bit longer. Give at least 30 seconds.
That's what I think, and then take it away in the ninth.
Right.
Yep,
That's what I
yep,
think.
And
100%.
the other thing too, like I'm glad you brought up the pickoffs because like my thing is pickoffs was always a strategy thing. Well,
Yep.
either because the runner was fast or because the batter was in a groove, or you have plenty of reasons. But now they threw it into where you have to make a strategy. Okay, I got so many pickoffs, so I have to wait until he's scoring and in scoring position.
Right.
Do I have to wait
Mhm.
until you know what I mean? And a lot of times, because I mean, granted, there's guys that specialize in pickoffs and things like that, but for the most part, guys aren't throwing to second a whole lot. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, exactly, and especially, like, if the runner on second sees the clock behind home and the pitcher's taking a little bit, he
Yeah.
could time out his lead and get a good, like, running start to third base, say.
Right.
Yep.
Especially if because I noticed a lot of the guys, the big leagues, what they like doing is they like waiting until about 3 seconds before they throw that pitch. Like you
Yep,
said, they'll time that and they're gone.
exactly, and, like, say, like, pitchers are shaking off, and, like, when you have a man on second, like, you don't just put down one sign, you're always flashing several numbers of different signs, so, like,
Things
say
get
a guy
mixed
has
up.
4 or 5 pitches and he keeps shaking off, you only have 20 seconds to really pick a pitch, come set, and then throw. So it's
So you pretty
the
much have
strategy
that
behind the
planned
game
out.
is
Right.
really strategies of the game is really like gonna go downhill because you're not gonna be able to look at runners on second as much. You're not gonna be able to hold runners on base, like mix up your holds and take a little bit more time to the plate or be quick to the plate. Like you gotta just kind of like worry about that clock.
Maybe throw some pitches that you weren't comfortable throwing in that situation.
Exactly.
Now, are on the boulders? Are they going to start making you guys operate under those rules as well?
No, the I don't actually I think they're doing that this year, but I'm not in that league this year. I'm gonna be in the Atlantic
The
League.
Oh,
Atlantic.
the
So the
Atlantic.
Bulls
That's right.
but I think they do, but they also tried I think the last 2 years, like the second half of the season, making the mound 61 feet 6 inches.
Wow.
So they pushed it back a whole foot for like the second half. I don't know if they're doing that again, but I know I had buddies who played over there and they were like, yeah, it was like 61 feet 6 inches.
I bet that felt like forever away throwing that ball too.
That extra foot definitely does play a factor, I feel like. So
Yeah.
hopefully it's still 60 feet, but we'll see.
Wow, that's
Dang.
crazy.
What about calling your own pitches? Like what do taking away that the pitcher like Max Scherzer does it now, where he calls 100, he just tells the catcher, he hits his little wristband and says fastball high. Is that something that you're interested in, or do you think that also takes away from the game?
I think I think it helps from a pitcher standpoint where like runners on base can't steal signs because I know like the last few years I've dealt with teams trying to steal signs and stuff like that. And then like if you're on the same page and you're the one picking your signs or your pitches or if the catcher's picking it, you could already preset the ball in like your glove wherever you want. It's like you could already grip the pitch you want to throw. But I mean, I would rather just regular traditional baseball, like no clock, let the catcher call it, and then go from there.
Change up your signs when somebody's on second.
Yep.
Don't don't
Same,
let them
same.
steal your sign,
Like I
know?
like I said, I mean, from a fan standpoint, I've
Right.
always loved the game for what it was, and I think we were talking about it a couple of nights ago on the show. Is when they're blacking out games, or when they're not showing as many games as maybe they should be showing, and on as many different platforms as there is now. It's like you're not going to gain any more new followers by changing the game so much all at once.
Yep.
I'm like, man, I just leave it alone. It was fine.
Right. Like I'm one of those people. I'll spend my $100 to the MLB app, whatever, and listen to it during work. Watch it when I get home from work. I watch most games during the season, and I had no issue with the speed of the game, with anything like that. I loved how it was, and now it's faster, it's cooler, but I just I feel for the players that have to instantly switch. Now it's like, okay, you got 20 seconds to throw this pitch right now, and you better
Yep.
pray your catcher's on it's on the same page, because if you're not,
And then especially like a wild pitch with a runner in scoring position. I'm a big Padres fan, and I can't tell you how many times we've gotten our hearts broken. We don't need any extra help.
yeah,
Exactly.
I'm a big Tigers fan. I like the Diamondbacks as well, but the Tigers have my heart. And we have a lot of good, solid rotational, good, solid starting pitchers and the bullpen guys. But they're good. They're young. They need the time to definitely, dive deep on what they need to do. I think, especially, it's going to hurt younger players. You know,
Yep.
the older dudes, they know what they're gonna throw. The catchers have been with them for forever. Like, I think Verlander, you know, those guys are just gonna be like, okay, well, you're just gonna have to listen to me. But the younger pitchers, I think we're gonna really see a kind of like a
especially because
just a different battle.
they gotta come in and they gotta not worry about, essentially making a name for themselves, but they gotta worry about. I mean, you've been there how many times? You can look, I gotta come out, I gotta do this. I gotta make sure I nail this. I gotta make sure this goes right, and now you're throwing
Yep.
this on them.
Exactly.
Man, that's crazy.
So, did you play any other like? Well, I know you were in the with the Boulders. It was more of like playoffs, but did you get a mess around in the Winter Ball League? Play a different position, bat a few times. Did you get to do any cool stuff like that?
No, no, I was just pitching, but I was bouncing back and forth from starting and coming out of the bullpen, so that was pretty cool.
There you go.
Go now. What do you? I know. Obviously, you're a starting pitcher, but what do you prefer, especially in the grind? Do you like pitching from the front, or you like coming in and helping?
I personally like coming out of the pen. I was used as like get out of the jam type of guy. So like if our starter or if a reliever gets into like a really like bad jam and like have to get out of it, I would be the one who's like getting hot and get put into the game. And I kind of like that because it's kind of like your instant like pre-workout kind of like adrenaline rush. We're like, all right, here we go, fuck it, like let's go, just throw the ball as hard as I can, get ready, and go out there.
Nice.
That's what it is.
Throw a little zin in your mouth and go out to work.
Oh, that's cool. So you were saying you got to play with some of the big leaguers and things like that. Did you get to have conversations on, what kind of helping you for what's your next step, things like that? Certain networking is that a thing?
I mean, definitely guys network. Like a bunch of guys saw. Actually, our third baseman is actually the starting third baseman for the D backs in the big leagues. Was it Manuel Rivera?
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, so he was our third baseman. We had another guy, Danny Ortiz, who was in the big leagues with the Pirates for a little bit. He actually plays in Mexico now. He reached out to me to go play out in Mexico with his team. Uh, but yeah, like guys kind of network and stuff like that. All of our coaches out there are part of affiliate organizations. Like our bench coach is Steven Morales, who's in the big leagues coaching with the Pirates. Uh, our strength and conditioning coaches, our physical trainers and stuff like that are both with the Blue Jays and the Braves. So it's like everyone you're around is working with MLB organizations, which was pretty cool. And then like I was blessed to throw to Roberto Perez, who's a two-time Gold Glover.
Mm.
So it's a story I get to tell people. I got to play with a big leaguer like that, and my resume is not the greatest, obviously, but it's pretty cool saying, "Oh, okay, I got to throw to a big leaguer. I got to throw to a guy who played in a World Series who has two Gold
Right.
Gloves." So it's
Have you
pretty
ever gotten
cool.
starstruck by anybody that you see and you're just like you want to talk to them and then you just like end up staring at them some?
Yeah. So when I went to the Caribbean Series in Venezuela, uh, we sh- we sh- we stayed in a hotel with three other teams. It was us, Mexico, DR, and I think Venezuela was the other one. And DR had like a bunch of big leaguers over there, but the one that really stuck out to me was Robbie Cano.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Yeah, so I got to pitch against him, and he kind of hit a piss missile double off me to left. But it was pretty cool because obviously, I growing up as a Yankee fan, going to the Bronx to watch him play second base up the middle with Derek Jeter and stuff like that. So it's like
No,
pretty cool.
don't you know?
Yeah, so it was pretty cool, like being able to like watch him like growing up, and then I had to go in relief and pitch against him was pretty cool. So that even though he beat me that at bat, it's still a pretty cool story to say like, damn, like a guy I watched growing up is now I'm playing against.
Right.
I got you. That's cool,
Yep.
Yeah.
man. What was your favorite what was your favorite moment where you actually got to talk with a big leaguer and you created a relationship type thing? Did something like that happen over the winter?
Yeah, I would say probably both with Emuel Rivera and Roberto Perez. So it was game seven. It was game seven of the championship in Puerto Rico, and I had to come into a jam. I had to come in and get out of a jam for one of our starters, and it was like he went pretty deep into the game. He went like 6 2/3, or he went like 6 1/3. I come in and I'm running out of the bullpen, and you just see Emma basically like pumping his fist, saying like, "Yeah, let's fucking go!" Like it was pretty cool. Have like a big leaguer like psyched to have me coming into the game.
Hell yeah.
And then our coaches had these like sign cards made up because one of the teams in the league was known for sign stealing. So they had like numbers on it, and it would be like, uh, you pull like you and your catcher would be like, hey, 1 or 5 or 4, whatever it is, and it would say like outs +1 or like chase 2, like just so like you get on the same like sign page as them, and you could always switch it every time. So then I get to the mound, like my manager's talking to me like, hey, like let's fucking go, do your thing, get out of this. Our team goes away. It's just me and Roberto Perez, and I get the sign card out, and he goes, "Man, put that fucking thing away." He's like, "Chase 3," and just walked away.
I
And I
love
was just like, "All right, I'm not gonna argue with a big leaguer," but no, it was pretty cool. Like,
But you better
seeing
call
how,
me
like,
right, man. You better not make me look bad.
yeah, but no, he's a great guy. Like, you would think like a guy who's got like that kind of resume in the big leagues would be kind of like a huge dick, but he is one of the nicest humans I've ever played with. So it's definitely cool having like a guy like that, a veteran, basically like I wouldn't say really taking me under his wing, but like kind of just treating me like if I had big league time.
Right.
Right.
That's
Yep.
cool. You know, me and Roberto Perez actually, we actually have something. He's he's my 4 slot in Diamond Dynasty. Hills, your little brother. I tell you what, kills him.
See, I love hearing stories like that, man. That because you always wonder, you know what I mean? Especially sitting at home watching as many, as many games as we do, and I'm sure guys like you, and it's like, you're cheering, your blood, your sweat, your tears, everything goes into this team, and it's like it's always good to know like there's still a lot of good guys out there.
Oh, 100%. And especially like out there, it's totally different than it is in the States because they're playing for their country. And it's like, even though I'm not Puerto Rican and I have no blood over there, it's like it kind of rubs off on you. And the atmosphere over there is just a different kind of energy. And it's like, it just rubs off on you. So, like, you kind of like get that little adrenaline rush even more than usual.
Right.
And like, even if your arm's like not feeling the best that day, like, you find a way where like, or you feel so much better just because like you hear everyone screaming. And even if no, I don't understand them, it's like just kind of hitting you like, wow, like I'm in a big spot right now. And there's really no seats left in the stadium. You can't find one singular seat.
I
So
love
it's
that.
like,
That's
yeah.
legit. That's neat.
So who's winning the World Classic? Are you pulling for somebody in particular, or?
I mean, I'm a US guy, so I'm gonna say US, but
Okay.
I'm definitely rooting for all my buddies who I played with in winter ball that are playing on the select few teams out there. But I'm definitely rooting for the US.
That's
Nice.
cool. Now, do you know of? Did you get to play with anybody that's going to be able to play in the classic?
Yeah, so Manuel Rivera is playing with Puerto Rico. We have this one guy who just got signed by the Diamondbacks. His last name is Briseño. He was he was in the Tigers org for like 7 years or something like that. Played a
Wow.
little bit of independent ball, and then just got picked up. He's playing for Venezuela. He's actually at big league camp right now with the Diamondbacks. Uh, I have another buddy who's a reliever on my winter ball team who's playing with Israel. I have a couple guys playing for Great Britain, the Netherlands. Yeah, like a bunch of guys are playing for the classic teams. So it's pretty cool to see.
That's legit.
That's
So
cool.
when that's cool. So when you're actually watching, these guys. Hey, come on, man, you're pulling for them. I get it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Just don't
Yeah,
play.
like
Just gonna play the United States, and yeah,
I'm
I'll
rooting
root
for you
for
all
you.
day.
yeah, I definitely wanted to see if I could get on like Team Italy or something because obviously US is a little tough, but like I was trying to see if I could find my way to get into Team Italy or something, but it was a little late for that. And they're playing in Taiwan or something like that, so
Yeah.
that's a long flight, so I'll pass on that.
Yeah, Lars went to Team Japan.
Yeah, and he doesn't even speak the language, which is
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. I think they have Shohei Otani's translator with him.
Yeah, because they're all speaking, and he was just like, "What the hell did they say?" And
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's cool though. Like that's something unique in baseball because you got the talent is in the United States alone. That's not counting, some of these Asian countries like Japan and Korea.
Mhm.
It's tough to find a team. So I think it's neat. It's a unique situation where they get to go, hey, let me try, like you were saying, let me try Italy, let me try, Venezuela or Great Britain or the Netherlands, something like that. I think that's cool.
Yeah, no, it's definitely cool, especially like seeing guys like who are in the big leagues or are on the cusp of making the big leagues playing out in those teams and like they get to play against like a Mike Trout or
Right.
Miguel Cabrera, or you're even teammates with them. Like my one buddy's gonna be teammates with like Ronald Acuna Jr., Miggy, and Altuve. Like it's pretty cool. Like you just to see like you're playing on that like level.
I get it.
That's amazing.
I mean, man, maybe I need to be like Puerto Rican. Just sneak in there.
Yeah, right.
So I have a quick question. This has been so you're a Yankees fan. I've known that. Obviously, you're a pitcher. Okay.
Mhm.
What happened to Chapman? Like, was it something mental? You think, or like his game just took a hit?
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't he sign with the Royals now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He's on the Royals.
I honestly don't know what happened to him. Maybe I don't know how old he is or anything, but maybe like he's slowing down a bit. I couldn't even tell you, but I don't know how the Yankees work. They try to find the guy, the right now type of guy, not the guy who's building his way up from the minors. Besides Anthony Volpe, obviously, who's a freak. But yeah, I don't know. Chapman is just I guess slowing down, to say it nicely.
Yeah.
No, definitely. And I remember I was when he was a Red. I've always been a fan, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
kind of just watching how everything played out. It was like, oh, what's going on, man? You know?
Yeah, throwing 105, doing somersaults after he strikes a guy out.
Right. Yeah, anytime he hit 3 digits on a gun, but then he to do it consistently, as consistently as he was doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was right there in itself a winner.
Well, that's like the Angels prospect, Ben Joyce, the guy from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yes.
Up to 105. He's at big league camp throwing like consistent 100. It's a little insane, but the guy's a freak.
Oh yeah. Gosh, I
That's
can
crazy,
imagine.
yeah.
They would need to move the like when people start throwing 105, okay, move the mound back.
Yeah, that's when they move back a bit.
Yeah.
I've never the fastest pitch that I saw. I was in high school, and one of the local guys went and played double A ball somewhere. I forget now, and I think he threw 95 at me, and that right there, I was scared of, and I couldn't imagine 10 more miles an hour, 105.
Blinking, it's
No, yeah, it's
you're on the next pitch if you blink.
I was swinging by accident.
yeah, no, 95 is definitely intense. I remember facing that when I was a freshman in college. But seeing some of the guys on my team this winter, or even guys who I played against throwing like pretty close to triple digits is pretty scary.
Oof.
Oof. Well, we're about out of time. We need to buy that Zoom premium already. Do you got any last plugs? Anything you want to put in
Any
here?
shout outs?
Nothing really. Just appreciate you guys having me again.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for coming on, man. We'll definitely want to touch base when you're getting ready to kick off the season and see how
For
camp
sure. For sure.
Yeah, and
Cool.
we want some story. We want to hear some shit talking. I want you pumped. Yeah, no, this guy you can shit on me. It's about to happen.
The fact I ain't been signed yet, I'm taking it personal. Cool. Well, hey, we're like as always, we're always a big fan of yours, and we're looking forward to having you on again. And we're pulling for you, man. Go get it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good
All
one,
right, buddy.
Danny.
Have a good night.
You too.